Good day. Hope you're doing well. Today we have another article from ScreenRant.com titled Star Wars 10 Rey Predictions for Rise of Skywalker, dated July 27, 2019. So, let's get into it. With the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker creeping closer, excitement is continuing to build ahead of the final movie of the franchise. Despite The Last Jedi dividing critics and Solo, a Star Wars movie, failing to hit the box office heights many expected, plenty will still tune in to the final chapter of the sequel trilogy. The character of Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, is one of the reasons why. Nearly 4 years after we have been introduced to her in 2015's The Force Awakens, there remains plenty of intrigue about the character. We now pitch 10 Rey predictions for the Rise of Skywalker and explain our thinking behind them. Ready for this? Number 10. Rey won't pilot the Falcon. So far, it's been established that Rey, like Star Wars protagonists Luke and Anakin Skywalker before her, is a rather accomplished pilot. So accomplished, in fact, we've already seen her conquer flying the Millennium Falcon, which happens to be the fastest ship in the galaxy. The Force Awakens, she flew alongside Han Solo, and in The Last Jedi, she helped Chewbacca on Crate. But for The Rise of Skywalker, we can't see her being the pilot. A passenger, sure, but not a pilot. Instead, we reckon Lando Calrissian and Chewbacca will take care of that. Rey, instead, is likely to spend much of her time fighting on the front line rather than up in the sky. That's pretty, I could see that now. I was going to say, yeah, but why not? Why won't Rey? But with Lando coming back, I could understand that she probably won't be piloting the Falcon. Number 9, she'll be even more powerful. And whether you like it or not, I mean, she really is already powerful. So I could definitely see her being even more powerful. But let's go on with this. Part of the reason Daisy Ridley's characters generated so much intrigue and prompted so many fan theories is because she's been powerful from the get-go. Whereas Luke and Anakin Skywalker took years to perfect their skills, Rey has hit the ground running already by beating Kylo Ren in a fight, slamming Luke to the floor, and taking out enemy forces with surreal precision. And we expect her to be even more OP in The Rise of Skywalker. OP means overpowered, by the way. The teaser trailer showed her performing a backflip over a ship going at thousands of miles an hour. Director J.J. Abrams has already teased bigger Force abilities than we've ever seen before, too. Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. Again, she's going to be even more powerful than she was in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Especially, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi happened almost right after, like, the next day kind of thing. So, I believe Episode 9 is going to take a year. Is it going to be a year after the events of Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I believe? So that's an extra year, so that... There's a time jump anyways. I forget if it's a year or two. But that gives her definitely more time to be even more powerful. Let's move on. Number 8. Rey will converse with Force ghosts. There was initially doubts as to whether or not Mark Hamill would reprise his role as Luke Skywalker, what with legendary Jedi sacrificing himself on the planet of Crate during The Last Jedi. But with Hamill back in the mix, we expect to see him conversing with Rey from beyond the grave, and giving her crucial advice in her battle against Kylo Ren and the First Order. And not just Luke too. We've already seen Yoda back as a ghost. And with J.J. Abrams wanting to tie all the movies together, it would make perfect sense. And fan service. If we were to see Rey talk with Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. So yeah, I don't doubt she'll speak to at least Luke Skywalker. I'm not so sure about Yoda. I mean, she was never close to Yoda. I mean, Luke at least was close to Yoda, but I could see her definitely talking to Luke Skywalker. And I'm not sure about the others. Number 7. She will snub love interests. Some Star Wars fans like to ship characters with other characters, and Rey as the female protagonist has been backed to become romantically involved with characters such as Finn, Kylo Ren, and even Poe Dameron. We know Finn likes her, despite Rose liking him, while even Kylo, despite being the villain, seems to have a soft spot for her. But we can't see Disney going down this route. It appears likelier that Finn will end up with Rose Tico, while Kylo is likely to choose power over her regardless of his feelings. As for Poe, he seems too keen to be the poster boy of the Resistance to settle down with anyone. Love isn't the Jedi way, and given how keen Rey is to become one, we just can't see the Star Wars trilogy ending on a romantic note. I find that kind of too bad. I actually really like the chemistry between Rey and Finn. So, from The Force Awakens. So that's what I was kind of hoping for. But I guess kind of makes sense. Jedi, are forbidden of love and attachments. Although this is a new Jedi Order thing that Luke was trying to do. So, you know what? Who knows? Let's move on. Number 6. Rey won't be a nobody. One of the biggest revelations from The Last Jedi was Kylo Ren revealing to Rey that she was a nobody who comes from nowhere and whose parents were drunks from Jakku who abandoned her for drinking money. This prompted a backlash from fans, many of whom had spent the time before the movie's release speculating as to whether she'd be a Skywalker, a Solo, a Kenobi, or even a Palpatine. But we can't see this staying the same. Given the backlash from The Last Jedi and the box office failure of Solo, Disney is no doubt going to pull out all the stops in order to get audiences to buy a ticket. Given Rey's powerful nature, it also makes little narrative sense for her to still just be an outliner. Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't think her parents were nobody. Although, technically you could say they were, but maybe she's a clone, and these nobodies, maybe not her parents, but her guardians maybe dropped her off on Jakku. There's a theory. I don't know. But, that could be something. Let's move on. Number 5. Rey will be a clone. And we think the reasoning behind her powers may have been hidden in The Last Jedi. There's a sequence where, having failed to resist the pull of the dark side, she finds herself looking in the mirror. And that mirror then shows thousands of her acting not in perfect unison but slightly off. This may suggest that she's not a Kenobi, Solo, Skywalker, or Palpatine, not via bloodline anyways. Instead, we believe that Rey will end up being a clone. Clones were a big part of the Legends material, with Palpatine creating many of himself in the event of his death. And the way she saw so many reflected back suggests she may be just one out of many in the galaxy. It would explain why she's so powerful, because the original was too. See, that's the theory that I'm going with, that she's a clone. Of who? I don't know. I'm thinking Luke Skywalker from his hand that was cut off in Empire Strikes Back. I mean, even right there, she's lifting her hand up. It totally must be a sign. No, I'm just joking. I don't think that's a sign right there. But I do think she's a clone. And if I had to choose someone, it'd be Luke Skywalker because of his chopped off hand and how obviously they found his saber. So maybe they found his hand. Who knows? But that's my theory. Number 4. Rey will fight Kylo Ren. The last time we saw Rey and Kylo Ren, their relationship to be in tatters. They had spent the majority of The Last Jedi edging closer to an alliance, and that seemed to be the way things were going when Ben Solo murdered Supreme Leader Snoke, and they took down the Praetorian Guards. However, with Kylo reluctant to turn back to the light, they became rivals once again, and we believe they will have a huge lightsaber showdown in The Rise of Skywalker. Images of Vanity Fair show them on a stormy planet with their lightsabers out, looking as if they're going to face off, and given how they're on the opposite sides, this seems logical. Well, I don't doubt there'll be some sort of lightsaber battle. I do think they'll probably team up later, though. Number 3, she'll fight alongside Kylo Ren. Oh, there we go. As mentioned above, an allegiance between Rey and Kylo Ren looked likely to happen during The Last Jedi after Snoke's death. And although we foresee the protagonists and antagonists of the sequel trilogy facing off in The Rise of Skywalker, we also believe they'll team up. Face it, if Sheev Palpatine is back from the dead, and given how we heard his voice in the teaser trailer, that looks like a distinct possibility. Then Rey and Kylo Ren will have to team up. Ben Solo showed his disdain for the Sith in previous movie, and chances are he won't want Palpatine around when he himself has so much power at this moment in time. So there we go. I'm sure they're going to have to team up like they did in Last Jedi. Number 2, Rey will stop Palpatine. Although Rey and Kylo Ren will likely team up to stop Sheev, we believe it will be the Jakku scavenger who stops him. Disney has sworn blind that Palpatine's return has been in the cards from the very beginning, and if that's true, then no doubt the plan has always been for Rey to be the one to well and truly bring balance to the Force. Kylo Ren, we're sorry to predict, is likely destined for death. Perhaps death after redemption to make it more emotionally hitting and reflective of the fate of his grandfather Darth Vader. The whole story has been about Rey and her mercurial rise, and we see that ending with her taking down the biggest threat the entire galaxy has ever known. Well, that makes pretty much sense. I don't know if Kylo Ren will die, though. It would be nice if they both live, but I can definitely see Rey and Kylo defeating him, and maybe Rey is the one who, does the final blow, or I don't know. That I'm unsure of. Number 1, she will train a new generation. While Star Wars looks like set to retcon elements of The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, the recreation of Kylo Ren's mask and repairing of Anakin Skywalker's old lightsaber certainly points to that, we can't see them forgetting about the little broom boy at the end of Rian Johnson's 2017 blockbuster. That shot was included to show that a new generation of Force-sensitive people was out there and ready to become Jedi. And with the title of the next movie being The Rise of Skywalker, we reckon the movie may end with Rey training the youngsters, or pledging to train them at least. No Skywalker can rise in this movie. Anakin and Luke are dead. Leia's shunned her Force powers, and Kylo Ren is already a fully fledged Jedi. So we think the title may be what Rey names the group of the next generation. Rise of Skywalker? So what do you think about this? How do you think about all the 10 predictions of Rey? Which one do you think is the most likely? And which one of these do you think is most unlikely? For me, I think the clone part is the most likely. Well, okay, maybe not. Maybe her and Kylo fighting together would probably be the most likely against Palpatine. But I hope it's her being a clone. And the one that the least amount, I don't know. I guess the least, I don't know. I guess that Rey won't pilot the Falcon. I don't know. I have a feeling that she'll at least pilot it a little bit. Maybe to get to where Lando is at some point. I just have a feeling that she'll be, having to fly the Falcon at least at some point during the movie. But anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you think is the most likely anyways. Alright? So, thanks for watching. Take care. Have an awesome day.